From Moscow to the Pacific shores, in distant Vladivostok, a legendary railway line connects the heart of Russia with its farthest reaches. An epic journey that weaves together the history, culture, and vast landscape of an immense nation. It is an engineering marvel. A promise of connection. A legend on rails. Welcome to the Trans-Siberian Railway, the longest train journey in the world. All began in 1891. As the Russian Empire expanded eastward, a need became evident to unite the largest country on Earth from end to end. That's when Tsar Alexander III gave the order to build the Trans-Siberian Railway, a titanic undertaking. Facing swamps, frozen tundras, and untamed mountains. For over a decade, thousands of workers, engineers, and soldiers labored tirelessly. In 1916, after years of sacrifice, the project was completed. A giant was born, 9,288 kilometers of track from Moscow to Vladivostok. A steel backbone crossing 8 time zones. If you board the train in Moscow and never get off, the full journey takes about 7 days. 7 days crossing towns and cities, the Ural Mountains, the remotest parts of Siberia, and the Russian Far East. The Trans-Siberian crosses 87 cities, 16 major rivers, and landscapes that look like they were painted by hand. It's not just a geographic voyage, it's a journey through time. Every station, every village is a story waiting to be told. Today, the Trans-Siberian is not a relic of the past. It is the living soul of Russia. Every day, thousands of Russians use it as their daily transportation. Students, workers, grandmothers visiting their grandchildren, merchants crossing entire regions. The train is not a luxury. It's a necessity, a routine, a home in motion. But it's also a journey coveted by thousands of tourists from all around the world. Every year, travelers of all ages board this train with one dream: to cross Russia on rails. And the best part? They can hop off at any station, explore, and hop back on. Our journey begins in Moscow. This bustling capital, with its mix of Soviet-era landmarks and modern skyscrapers, serves as our gateway to the world's longest railway route. From here, we'll travel nearly 9,300 kilometers east across Russia's vast landscapes, all the way to Vladivostok on the Pacific coast. One of the first major stops is Ekaterinburg in the Ural Mountains. Here, Europe meets Asia. Next is Novosibirsk, the capital of Siberia. With its monumental opera house and modern spirit. Then comes Krasnoyarsk, on the banks of the Yenisei River. And its spectacular Stalby Nature Reserve. but it's in Irkutsk where the soul pauses. Very close by, the train caresses the shores of Lake Baikal, the deepest lake in the world. More than 1,600 meters deep, with water so pure it takes your breath away. In winter, it freezes into an endless mirror of ice. Stretching east from Irkutsk, we discover Ulan-Ude. A city defined by its rich Buddhist culture and profound Mongolian influence. From here, you could take the line to Mongolia. As the journey nears its end, Khabarovsk emerges, a grand pause before Vladivostok. Where the Amur River paints the skyline with liquid silver and boulevards whisper tales of Russia's Far East. And finally, Vladivostok, the station where the Trans-Siberian Railway meets the Pacific. Here, the tracks end, but the adventure is just beginning. The Golden Horn Bridge, icon of the city, spans the bay, while the Tokarevskia Lighthouse points the way to distant shores. Its docks aren't just a railroad's terminus, they're gateways to Asia. Ferries depart for South Korea, Japan, and even China, turning Vladivostok into a crossroads of cultures. This train welcomes every kind of traveler. There's first class, private cabins for 2 people, meals included, and clean bathrooms. Perfect for those seeking comfort and privacy. Second class, 4-berth cabins, more affordable with a sociable atmosphere. And third class, the open plan wagon with rows of bunks and no compartments. Here, you hear the train's soul, children laughing, elders telling stories, music playing from a phone, and the scent of Russian tea filling the air. There are also dining cars where passengers can taste borscht, pelmeni, and sip vodka as they watch the scenery roll by. And not only people travel across these rails, so do goods. Alongside the passenger trains, heavy freight trains thunder through the taiga and across the steppe. They carry timber, coal, oil, machinery, and countless other goods that power the Russian economy. From the factories of the West to the ports of the East, the Trans-Siberian is also a commercial lifeline. It doesn't just connect people, it moves a nation. Among all the engines that have crossed the tracks of the Trans-Siberian, one became a legend: the Soviet P-36 steam locomotive. Known as the Green Generation for its distinctive color. This powerful engine was built in the 1950s to lead passenger trains on the country's longest routes. Only 251 units were ever produced, and today, few remain in operation. But when one of them comes back to life, with steam rising and the whistle cutting through the air, time stands still. The Trans-Siberian is not just a train. It's a symbol, a line that unites continents, people, and generations. It is the story of an empire, of a people of hope. It is the train where time slows down and the soul expands. Through fogged-up windows, the traveler sees frozen tundras, endless mountains, sleeping villages, and skies that stretch forever. And then it becomes clear, you're not just crossing a country, you're crossing a life. Thank you for traveling with us aboard the legendary Trans-Siberian Railway.
From the sweeping plains of the West to the bustling cities of the East Coast, the railroad has long been the steel backbone of America. In the 19th century, steam locomotives didn't just move cargo and passengers, they stitched together the dreams and destinies of a growing nation. The golden age of rail travel brought elegance and speed to the American landscape. But with the rise of automobiles and commercial air travel, passenger rail seemed destined for the past. That is, until 1971, when Amtrak emerged, a last stand for the spirit of American rail. The story begins in 1869, when the ceremonial Golden Spike was driven into the ground at Promontory Summit, Utah, uniting the Central Pacific and Union Pacific Railroads and completing the first transcontinental railroad. This engineering triumph shrank distances, connected markets, and transformed the American West. For the next 100 years, dozens of private railroad companies vied for dominance, building luxurious passenger cars and iconic trains like the Super Chief and the 20th Century Limited. But by the 1960s, the landscape had changed. Airplanes and interstates took center stage, and rail travel declined steeply. With ridership plummeting and profits vanishing, the federal government stepped in. On May 1, 1971, the National Railroad Passenger Corporation, better known as Amtrak, was born. Rather than being a traditional company, Amtrak was a public-private partnership, absorbing the passenger operations of 20 major railroads into a single national system. Amtrak's early years were uncertain. It inherited aging equipment and limited routes, just 184 trains on a skeletal network. Critics doubted its survival, yet within this humble beginning was a promise that America's iconic trains could still have a place in the modern world. Central to this was the Northeast Corridor, or NEC, the busiest rail route in the country, connecting Boston, New York City, Philadelphia, Baltimore, and Washington, D.C. The Acela Express became Amtrak's flagship high-speed train, reaching speeds up to 150 miles per hour and competing directly with regional air travel. Today, Amtrak operates over 300 trains daily, serving more than 500 destinations across 46 states, the District of Columbia, and parts of Canada. Its reach spans the nation, from dense urban centers to remote rural towns, making it one of the few truly national passenger rail systems in the world. The California Zephyr is a crown jewel in Amtrak's long-distance service. Stretching over 2,400 miles between Chicago and Emeryville, near San Francisco, it offers passengers breathtaking views of the Rocky Mountains, the Sierra Nevada, and the deserts and plains in between. It's a journey that isn't just about the destination, it's about witnessing the grandeur of the American continent. The Empire Builder, named for railroad tycoon James J. Hill, the original Empire Builder, connects Chicago with the Pacific Northwest. Traversing the Badlands of North Dakota, the plains of Minnesota, and the snow-capped peaks of Montana's Glacier National Park, it tells a story of frontier ambition and the unyielding push westward. Then there's the Coast Starlight, running between Seattle and Los Angeles. This route hugs the Pacific coastline, passes through dense redwood forests, and offers unmatched ocean views. With its panoramic observation car and fine dining service, it's often called one of the most scenic train rides in North America. Amtrak's southern routes are just as compelling. The city of New Orleans, immortalized in song, runs from Chicago to Louisiana, winding through the Mississippi Delta. The Crescent connects New York to New Orleans, crossing the Blue Ridge Mountains and echoing the soul of the South. One of Amtrak's most unique offerings is the Auto Train. It allows passengers to bring their cars with them on a journey between Lorton, Virginia and Sanford, Florida, a 900-mile trek that combines comfort with convenience for vacationers headed to the Sunshine State. Traveling on Amtrak is more than transportation, it's an experience. Onboard amenities include sleeping cars with private rooms, full-service dining cars offering freshly prepared meals, and observation lounges with glass dome ceilings for scenic viewing. The slower pace, the rhythm of the tracks, and the ever-changing landscape invite passengers to reconnect with the journey itself. As climate concerns rise and Americans seek sustainable transportation options, rail travel is being reimagined not as a relic of the past, but as a cornerstone of a greener future. Trains emit significantly less carbon per passenger mile than cars or planes, making Amtrak a key player in reducing the nation's transportation footprint. From history to innovation, from urban corridors to wide-open landscapes, Amtrak carries more than just passengers. It carries the stories, memories, and possibilities of a nation. Because the train is not just a way to get somewhere, it's a window into America itself.